Hello, this is John Sayer with Applied Technology Group. I'm a civil applications engineer, and I'd like to show you just a snippet today of what InfraWorks 2014 can do for you by taking 2D GIS data that we're going to drop into Civil 3D real quick and show you what we're going to be looking at, and then show it to you how it would come in InfraWorks, and then show you just a quick run through of how you could create a quick visualization so that you can show your client. This is just one thing that you can do with InfraWorks, but everybody's getting the InfraWorks software with the Infrastructure Design Suite Premium Fulfillment and with the Infrastructure Design Suite Ultimate. So let's just get started. If we were going to do a preliminary layout or just look at something preliminarily, we would probably go out and get some GIS data from either a municipality or a website or someplace that's got the data. So I'm just going to drop in some buildings and some parcels and then connect to a raster file so that you can see what you would be looking at if you were to bring this map data or GIS data into map. So I'm just going to bring up the GIS data and let's bring the building footprints in. So I need to grab the other file here. So let's grab the shape file, just drop it on the screen, and it's going to populate. Okay, so once that's in, that's our buildings. If we zoom in, we can see that our buildings are here, and again, it's in a 2D environment. I can go ahead and go back to my GIS data, and I can drag in some parcels. Okay, now I can stylize these parcels in map. All right, so I can edit the style, go in here and take out the fill, because I don't really need any fill, and I can change the color of my lots so that it's something that I can see. So now, very quickly, if I'm looking at a specific area that I'm wanting to work, I can see what is there existing wise, but again, it is in a 2D environment. If we were to take this and use it as a visualization, this is what we've done for years. So what I'm going to show you in InfraWorks is a very quick way on how to bring this in and look at it in a 3D environment using the same data. So there's one more thing I'm going to do. I'm going to connect to an image real quick so that we can kind of see where we're at. So I would connect to a raster image. This raster image is just I think it's a TIFF. So let's go to our ortho. It's actually a SID file. So I'm going to bring it in and connect, and I'm going to add it to the map. Now, if you've ever used GIS data in map before, you know that connecting to giant SID files, it does slow the machine down just a little bit. It does come in a lot quicker than inserting it, so we are able to move around and see things very quickly. So I can see underneath, I can see the GIS or the TIFF or the SID file that I brought in. I can see that I have my lines, my lots, my buildings, things of that nature. So if I was to want to utilize this for a presentation piece or physically show a customer real time as to what is out there and maybe start to make design decisions, this is what I'm used to being able to use. And I can do this right in front of the client. So this interchange is what we're looking at. Again, it's in a 2D environment. Okay, there's nothing 3D here. Now if I take that same exact data, okay, and I open up InfraWorks and I select my model, I've already imported this stuff in, but I'm going to show you where I do it. It takes the same amount of time to import it into InfraWorks as it did inside of map or Civil 3D. So I'm going to select my data sources tab and show you I've got my buildings, I've got my parcels, I've got my image, and I've got a surface underneath here, so I would be able to see terrain. So if I zoom in to an area, so this is the area that I zoomed into before, I can see the same interchange, and this is a 2D environment here. But I can grab this and turn it and put it into a plane, and you can see the buildings. You can see the terrain moving up and down, and I can start to look at it in an environment that's 3D. People understand this versus this 2D map, okay? And when doing presentations, just being able to do quick presentations, that was like something that was unheard of in the past. Well, the fact of the matter is that in InfraWorks, this can be rendered. I can look at it right here. I can zoom to the particular point that I want to zoom to, and I can go up to present, and I can do a rendered still shot. Okay, I can also do what's called a storyboard, which would be like a flyover. So if I wanted to start, let's just say, and I'm just going to do this real quick, let's just say I'm looking at a road that's running right through here. Alright, so I'm going to kind of make my path start down on this area right here. You can see a hump, so you can see that it's reading the terrain data too. I'm going to build what's called a storyboard. So if I build a storyboard and tell it that I want to add a camera path animation, it gives me my initial frame. I can just zoom forward, hit the plus, zoom forward to where I want to go to, hit the plus, keep zooming, change views, change angles, okay, all the time adding the keyframes in to my storyboard. Alright, I can hit my last keyframe, and then I can run a preview as to what it's going to do. Now, I can slow this down, I can make it faster, I can make it actually match a particular speed. But you see how fast and easy you can do a quick visualization just from those few little pieces of GIS data that we brought in. Again, the way that you bring this in is the exact same way that you bring in data into map. You can drag and drop it right here on your task pane, and you're good to go. It all comes in, you configure it to say, you know, if you drag a buildings file in, you tell it it's a building, okay, and it puts these buildings in. So real quick, I wanted to be able to show you why you want to start using InfraWorks, and basically what InfraWorks would do for you, since that's a lot of the questions that we've been getting as to what will InfraWorks do for me and why is it included in the infrastructure design suites. So if you've got more questions, feel free to give us a call. We can do a demo and run through of what InfraWorks will do for you completely. Again, this is just a 5-minute demo of how fast you can do a fly-through. And for visualization, that is something that is coming up down the pike, and everybody will be using visualization to win more work and tell a story, tell a compelling story of what they're wanting to do with their proposed sites and their proposed roadways. So I thank you today for taking time to look at this video. Again, if you have questions, feel free to call us at Applied Technology Group, and we can set something up and we can go through it a little more thorough. Thank you.